Hey everyone, my name is Andy. My channel is Finding Value. I'm going to talk about short-term trading and some of the percentages, the statistics. I'm gonna let you know that what, no one's going to get it right. Not every time. They're going to get it right about maybe 60% of the time if they're really good. Maybe a hair higher if you tie things together. But overall, I've set this up. I use short-term trading to try to time my purchases. I'm not going to be perfect. Technical analysis, about 60% accurate, a little bit higher if you can tie a bunch of different things together. What I'm using as my cover is behind me, we've got these tailwinds of inflation from real estate, and we've got the valuations in our favor. So even if I mistime my purchases on the short term, I still think that the tailwinds and the fundamentals are going to carry me downstream. I'm not swimming upstream, I'm swimming downstream. I've got the tailwind or the current in our favor. And I'm trying my best to help you guys, give you entertainment, give you guys potential investment opportunities, trying to read the charts as best I can. You know what? I'm not going to get it right every time. No one will on YouTube. No one's going to get this right 100% of the time. So I'll try my best, but I wanted to make some comments on short-term trading. Again, I'm not a trader either. I'm not trading these things. I'm an investor. I'm going for the long term. So technical analysis doesn't work 100% of the time. In fact, it only works about 60% of the time. And then you have to be great at charting to get 60%. There are ways to increase a little higher by looking at a wider array of sectors and correlating everything together. But here it is, plain English. It's about 60%. Technical analysis doesn't work every time. And most YouTube channels you listen to, they're also not going to get it right all the time. And they're going to be wrong a good amount of the time. I'm also trying to give some time for people to accumulate. I'm trying to front run the move before it happens. And that's very difficult to do because if I were to do this, there might be times where I'm like, it might be a little bit early. So I'm going to wait a little bit. But guess what? Everyone else, by the time they view this, isn't going to get the chance to accumulate before the move. So I have to do it somewhat on the early side. I have to give people time to watch the videos, to see it, to say, look, here's the a potential formation that's forming, and we'll give you some time to accumulate. So all of these things that I'm doing for this channel, I'm trying to incorporate you guys, the viewers, the people who are going to watch this. I don't post these things real time, like every second I create it. I have to wait a day or two. So I try to front run it. I try my best to give people time, maybe a week or two to accumulate. So I'm trying to do my best here. And I know people, I may not time it perfectly. I'm sorry for that. If that's something that you guys had to endure a little bit more downward movements, but I'm trying my best. And I think most of the picks are going to pan out very well if you have the correct time frame. The time frame is not in weeks, it's not in months, it's in years. And you're going to look back and say, man, this was a really good pick. Hopefully. And remember, not every pick's going to be a winner too. There's going to be a small percentage that are going to vastly lag over time. And I don't know which ones are going to be. Some are going to go absolutely crazy. And that's what we're going for. We're going for a couple of these to just kill it. It'll change. You only need a couple to absolutely kill it, to get a 100-bagger. Really. I mean, some of these, I'm up quite a bit in them. And it's like, man, they could change my life if they go up another 10x. I mean, literally turns tens of thousands of dollars into millions of dollars. Just that one position. So that's what I'm going for. That's my strategy. And I'm really mitigating risk through position sizing and portfolio allocation. So the approach here is I only use technical analysis to try and time my purchases. We try our best, everyone on this channel, to time your purchases as best we can. That's all you can do. I buy and hold for the commodity bull market, accumulating assets on the cheap. That's my goal. That's my approach. Everyone has opinions on when something might go up or down, but guess what? They're just opinions. That's all they are. So whomever you're watching on YouTube or what books you're reading, you're not going to get it 100% right. It's just not going to happen. And again, calling me out or however you want to call this, yeah, I'm going to make calls that aren't right. I know that. And I opened this channel in a impulse move higher. I knew that we were going to have pullbacks at some point. And I knew that people are going to have to go through some pain, some movements. And statistically speaking, I would be wrong 40% of the time if I was a very good chart reader. And again, I'm going to be wrong on some of these picks. I'm going to be wrong on some of the picks long term. There's an art to picking stocks as well. This is not an easy game. And I have to tailor it to the audience that's going to be watching this stuff. So, how I mitigate risk is really I only subject a portion of my portfolio to riskier assets. Again, it's approximately 20% of my net worth. That is the reason I'm putting a lot of these videos in front of people of my portfolio and holdings. I want them to understand that I'm only risking 20% of my net worth in these high-risk companies. The other 20% is in mutual funds. I have another large portion, or probably 20, 30% of my net worth in physical precious metals and a bunch in residential real estate. I manage my risk through portfolio allocation. The ratios tell us value. They don't tell us timing, though. Real estate and technical analysis can help us with the timing. And again, I'm not a trader. I'm only trying to help people time their buys. I'm an investor. This channel, what you're going to get, the value out of this channel here is I'm providing the framework of long-term trends. Trends being how things are changing in the markets, where the value is in the market, and how those things are interacting with each other. Where I would park my money, that's another thing that you can get out of here. I cannot give financial advice, only education, and you can use this any way you want, this channel. The impulse wave moves for most of these sectors happened right after I started the channel. And again, I did this on purpose because I knew people get excited when their accounts go up. I knew it would give me a bump in the right direction. That's why I started it when I did. I knew that uranium was kind of coming up. I knew that oil was coming. And we saw the big move in precious metals already, meaning that a commodity bull market was coming. But at some point, I knew there was going to be pullbacks, and people are going to have to endure pullbacks. And again, you can't run a channel based off of trading. You can, but it's very difficult. So, and I'm not a trader. I'd rather invest and make the big moves in commodities and retire, be done. So I'm trying my best here. I'm going to try my best and get everyone the spots where I would be buying, but I'm not going to be right all the time on the short term. I've been wrong on some of my calls in the short term. Westwater, I was wrong on. Centennial Development, SMCPE on the very, very short term. I thought they were going to move up a little bit quicker than what they have. And long term, I think these companies will do incredibly well. Hence, I only put my money with the tailwind behind me. Valuations and market conditions are those tailwinds. So that's what I have. I'm trying my best here. I'm hoping that you guys aren't too going too deep in some of these. Again, I'm only putting a couple percent of my portfolio in each of them. I am very heavily invested in some of these companies. Heavily invested being I've put, let's say I overweighted a 4% position. That could be a 10 or 20, that could be a 10, 20% position if it's up 10 over 10 times the original price. I do have some companies that are up a lot of money. And I'm not selling. The valuations are still low. The market conditions are still there. There's no reason for me to sell. And I'm just holding on. I've got a lot of money in CDEV, SM. CPE is not as big because I got in a little later. And then I had QEP, which is now FANG. That got pretty large because I bought that really early. I've got some of those cannabis stocks got really big. Some of the uranium stocks are blowing up. My portfolio is doing very, very well. And I want you guys to also experience portfolios that do very, very well. Thing is, we have a pullback. I have to buy into pullbacks. I'm just a little bit early most of the time because I'd rather be a little bit early than late. And usually what I do is I cost average in. I buy kind of early. I kind of keep cost averaging in. And then when it starts coming up, I start cutting it back. I don't buy anymore and I look for another opportunity. I'm sharing my buy points with everybody on this channel. It takes a lot of courage to do what I'm doing and to show you where I would be buying because there are times where I'm going to be wrong and people aren't going to like it. I mean, that's just what is going to happen. And I know that. And I knew that before I started sharing. And you know what? It comes with the channel of being right and being wrong. But I think overall, if your time frame is right, if you look at it from a big long-term perspective, we're going to be right on a lot of these picks. And anyone who's on this channel, you guys are doing a very good job on searching because you had to find me. You had to find me somehow. You obviously are looking at commodities, precious metals, and all these different sectors. You obviously, I think, are going to be right. And good for you for looking at the right sectors. That's what I'm going to say, and good job. But guess what? It's not going to be easy. We're still going to have to go through a lot of volatility. Some of these sectors are turning. Gold and silver are finally turning up. Oil's turning up, but we're getting a little bit of a pullback in the near term. Same with uranium. I don't know when exactly these things are going to end. Maybe it takes another month or two. That's very well likely it could. But when these things turn, all of these things that you are thinking, all of this patience and a little bit of short-term volatility, it's all going to go away. You're going to see your account go up 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700%. You're going to be like, oh my God. Thank God I waited. That's how what I thought when I was waiting for the March move. I saw that thing decline rapidly. Yeah, it scared me a little bit, but guess what I did? I did exactly opposite of what my emotions told me. I said, man, this thing is selling off. I'm buying the living crap out of everything. I moved assets into gold and silver. I caught that entire move. I mean, I made a lot of money that move. Then I moved it into, put some companies into free rides, moved them into oil, moved them into uranium. I saw this thing move and boom, those moved up. Now we've got gold and silver moving up again. We've got oil in a pretty good spot, and we've got uranium in a pretty good spot. I don't think that they're going to be down for too long. But if you can play this stuff right, you guys, you'll learn. You'll see. Once you go through a cycle or two of these pull-ups and pullbacks, you'll understand the market. It just takes some time. It takes some time to learn this. Be patient. It'll reward you. That's my opinion. So thanks for listening. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content. Leave comments below if you guys need any help with anything. Comments, questions. Tell me that I'm not being smart, that I should approach something different. Leave it below. Let me know. I'd like your opinion and feedback. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.